Hey, long time no see.
Oh my God! It feels like it's been forever.
Feels different in here. I don't know. It's like coming back to like an old shirt.
like an old shirt.
A glove that just fits.
Yeah. You're just like, man, I forgot I had this shirt in the closet somewhere, man. This is good. I'm bringing it back.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. Welcome back to the Three Guys in a Mic channel. Listen, I know we've been gone for a little bit. I would like to apologize, but I'm not gonna. We started this other channel over here. This way? I don't know.
It's down there in the comments.
Oh, yeah, it's down there. Hey, man, it's all heavy metal content all the time. It's good stuff. We've had it going for about a month. We've just been working on kind of getting that built up, so that's why you haven't really seen much of us. But we figured for Christmas, we would be remiss if we didn't do some fun content. So we thought, why not bring back the old classic movie review?
Correct.
So we're actually going to do a classic Christmas movie review, and this is a movie that I've never seen before. So these two guys had seen it, they recommended it, and I saw it for the first time this week. So we'll do a quick intro for the pod here, and then we'll get into it.
Let's do it.
Dave, you got movement back there.
I see it. It's all good.
All right, here we go. See if I even remember how to do this.
Riding a bike.
It's like putting on an old shirt. Dave, what are you doing?
Dude, I'm ready whenever you are, all right? I'm a professional. I'll come in when it's my time.
You're a professional? What's a professional?
I can definitely tell that this channel is more unprofessional than our other one. Like right off the top.
All right. Shut your face.
It's more loosey-goosey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Three Guys in the Mic presents a classic Christmas movie review, Scrooged. I'm your co-host, the Human Dart, along with
Jason Tsunami.
And David Disaster.
Heyo!
Yo! Hey, we back? We
back.
Up in this?
It's like we never left.
Yeah, man.
Is anybody still there?
I hope so.
I don't know. Hopefully there's still a few folks waiting for us out there to put out some more content. Hey, listen, if you're listening to us on the podcast here, I'm sure you're wondering what's going on and why we haven't been putting out content weekly anymore. We started a new YouTube channel. It's called A Metalhead's Journey. We're not putting out a podcast from it. It's just a weekly YouTube show. Well, I say weekly. We're putting out different content throughout the week. But hey, if you want to give us a subscribe, check us out. It's going to be linked up to our Three Guys in a Mic YouTube channel. So if you want to go to our YouTube, click on the link, or if you just want to search A Metalhead's Journey on YouTube, you may have to look around a little bit, but you'll find us. So there's a ton of videos out there. We're doing reaction videos. We're doing album reviews. It's all kinds of good stuff. A lot of the same stuff we were doing here on this channel, but we just wanted to kind of give it its own home on a different channel. So that's what's been going on with us. I hope everybody out there has been doing well. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. We decided, since this was Christmas after all, we would have a little bit of fun. So we decided to bring back the old classic movie review podcast, and specifically we're talking about a little movie called Scrooged.
Yeah, I grew up kind of with this movie. I don't know. I assume Jason is in the same boat. I mean, he's older than me, but my brothers turned me onto this movie, and I've grown up watching it. I probably watched it way too young. I mean, there's definitely a few scenes in here that are not appropriate for like 8-year-olds.
So Dave, you were looking at nipples when you were 8 years old?
Yeah.
You couldn't see her nipples. You barely see.
I mean, you could see some. You could see. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know to look there at the time. That's how young I was when I saw this movie.
Look, all I know is I'm sure Charles Dickens would have wanted to see her nipples.
Now the secretary scene when she's like Xeroxing, her undercarriage,
her ass.
Yeah.
It's called a butt, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man.
Jason, when did you first encounter this movie?
I don't think I went to the theater to watch this, but I might have. I just remember it being like a staple of mine when I was younger, of watching it when Christmas time would come around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you chucklehead suggested this movie, and I had to do the thing I hate saying, which is, oh, I've never seen that movie.
That's rare. That's
which
a rare
is
occurrence.
Just okay. So like, I just have a quick question before we jump into this.
Yeah.
You're, I assume, a fan of Bill Murray, as far as any movies that he had been in that you had seen. What was the? Because look, I'm guilty of it. I see a cover, whatever the movie poster is, and I'll immediately judge it. Maybe I'm shallow.
And the cover for this
but
is not
I'm just
great.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just curious. What kept you from watching it all this time?
I'm not a big Christmas movie guy. Like, look, I haven't seen things like Miracle on 34th Street, It's a Wonderful Life. I saw Elf for the first time last year. You know, I'm just not a big Christmas movie guy. So immediately, if it's Christmas movie, I'm already hesitant.
Unless
then,
it's named Die Hard.
Oh, obviously, but but I'm also not like the biggest Bill Murray guy. Like, I don't seek out like Bill Murray. I mean, he's fine, but I just don't go and like seek out Bill Murray movies. He doesn't. He's kind of like Will Ferrell for me in certain situations where it's like
that's pretty offensive. I'm just gonna stop you there. That's
look,
Will
like
Ferrell
I'm watching.
is not good.
We'll get into it when we get to issues as far as Bill Murray, but
Yeah.
I
Like
understand.
I'm watching Elf earlier because Amanda was watching Elf, and I'm like, God, this movie is just so fucking cringy. And I'm not saying that Scrooge was cringy, but just Bill Murray can be cringy sometimes. It's kind of how I mean that.
It's funny that you stood, that you kind of kept away from this movie because you felt like it was very Christmassy. And while this movie is obviously Christmassy, I feel like it definitely, like, through the, like, because the humor is not super family friendly all the time, it bridges the gap between, like,
adult,
yeah. Like Die Hard is like a faux Christmas movie, right? It's become a Christmas movie. This is like I said, like, this is definitely a Christmas movie by the definition, for sure, but it's definitely like not a family movie at all.
No, yeah, definitely not, And it's funny. Look, I'm glad that you guys recommended it, and it was funny because I feel like I'm always having to drag Amanda along to watch movies, and I suggest movies for her to watch and have to get her to watch them. So when I was like, oh, hey, we got to watch this movie for the pod, it's, Scrooge. She's like, oh, I love that movie. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So, yeah, so it was good. So, Fossil, go ahead and hit us with a little recap here, and then we'll get into some other stuff.
All right, well, Scrooged, the tale everyone knows. With a bit of a modern spin, the movie follows the cynical and self-absorbed TV exec Frank Cross as he experiences the story of the Charles Dickens classic Christmas Carol, being visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, to hopefully save his soul from an afterlife of torment and rekindle that Christmas spirit he loses in his youth. Along the way, of course, reconnecting old memories, present situations he's been oblivious to, and a future he wishes to avoid. And maybe, just maybe, rekindling and reconnecting with his lost love.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Nice.
I
think it's good. I mean, look, it's a tale as old as time, right? If you want to go down a stupid path, but I mean, look, we've all heard this story a bunch of times, and so this is just another variation on it. So that made it easy to kind of follow along with. The movie came out in 1988. It felt like that. That feels about right.
Yeah.
It would cost $32 million to make, made $60 million at the box office. So, you know,
It doubled.
it was
Doubled its
okay.
weight. I'm sure it made more money out of the box office over time.
Oh, like
Oh, and
rental
DVDs
sales
and shit.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, so when I was looking it up, after you guys suggested, I was like, all right. One of the genres that it fits into is fantasy. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. But then, like, you know, you start watching it and, you know, you get like death at the end and he's like opens up his little thing and he's got all the dead bodies and stuff floating around in there. I was like, okay, like there's elements of it, of fantasy in there. So I thought that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. But like first watch of the movie, I only got to watch it once. I wanted to watch it a second time, but I ran out of time, unfortunately. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I was not the more I've thought about the movie, I've liked it. The first watch, especially like in the first 10 minutes or so when they're doing the board meeting, and they're introducing the two different trailers. I was a little in the moment on this movie when that scene was going on, but there's a particular scene that we'll get to here in a little bit that really kind of swung the movie for me and kind of changed my mind. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised with the movie. You know, not to steal a scene. What the hell's going on over there, Foster? Everybody okay?
Got a bone for Christmas. Weighs by 1,000 pounds.
Nice. You know, not to go too far into the future of, hey, is this movie rewatchable or not? But I'm not sure I'm going to rewatch it anytime soon. Outside of maybe the occasional rewatch on Christmas. But it was worth watching for sure.
Yeah, I will only watch it around Christmas time. That's to me, it's a if you don't want to get sucked into watching the 18 versions of Christmas Carol or the 45 versions of The Grinch Stole Christmas, this is like I said, it's a little diversion, kind of a spinoff, kind of doing its own thing, which it's kind of funny in the fact that it's a Christmas Carol about an executive making a Christmas Carol special.
Yeah.
And so
I would say this is my favorite version of that story that I've seen. So like, if somebody's like, you know, hey, we're going to watch a Christmas Carol or something like that, like this would be the version that I would try to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I had not watched it probably in about 3 years, I guess. And man, like we were kind of making fun of it, it does feel like putting on the old shirt.
Yeah,
it is the shoes that you don't throw away. Like it's easy to get right back into it. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you just hit that guy in the face with the toaster.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah. Like,
it's great.
It's for me, like one of the notes I had, and it kind of fits here, but like it nails the Christmas tone while giving it like I'm going to use the quotes here, but like a modern feel. Modern for 80s, right? Like obviously.
Yes.
But
VCRs,
like
baby.
Yeah.
VCRs.
It almost makes me
dude,
like,
he was super happy to get that gift too.
Dude, it does. It makes me wonder why this hasn't been like redone. Not this specific like Scrooged, but I guess a version of this like in more recently. But yeah, I mean, like to Jason's point, like this isn't something I watch. Like I don't think I would just randomly watch it. But yes, around Christmas time, like this definitely is of the traditional Christmas movies. This is head and shoulders better than a majority of them, right? If we're not talking about the Die Hards and like the Batman Returns and
the Jingle All the Ways.
Oh no, it's better than Jingle All the Way.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. But,
no, it's not.
Look, hey, next year, Josh. Next year we'll watch Jingle All the Way.
I suggested that this year, and you guys laughed at me.
So we wanted to watch a good movie.
We'll watch it next year. Well, it's on record now. I agree to watching it a year from now.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and determine what our level of good is here for this movie. We're bringing it back, dude. We're back. 3 guys and a mic, patent pending shit-o-meter. For those of you that don't know what it is out there, we like to refer to things as shit here on this show. And, basically we're here to rate varying levels of shit. So name of the game here is you want to be the lowest score possible. You want to score a 0. Anything from 0 to 50, typically we would classify that as a recommend and some variation or some sort. Anything 51 down to 100, that's varying levels of absolute diarrhea, dog, Golgotham, shit demon type stuff, okay? And then specifically 100 is reserved for Venom.
Whoa. Slow your roll.
So, listen, I'll go first since it's the first time I've seen the movie. This is probably not as good of a score as what you guys feel like it should be. I would need to watch the movie a couple more times to really kind of pick up on the things that might make me enjoy it some more. But on one watch, with everything I've got, I'm coming in at a 34.
Okay.
I think that's very respectable. I'll actually go next.
Go for it,
I basically agree with you, Josh. I think this movie is very, very good, specifically in comparison to other Christmas movies. So, so while this score might not be super high, I don't think it's obviously not Bill Murray's best movie or by any stretch. But I think it's very, very good. I'm at a 33.
Damn.
So I think it's a very good movie.
This one was a little bit tricky in the scoring because I do feel like it is a great movie, but I think it's a great Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's basically what I said, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you're scoring it, like if it was not a Christmas movie, of course it wouldn't be what it is, but for me, you would think this movie deserves, in my opinion, like somewhere between an 18 and 22. But I will never watch this movie during the year.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be in July going, you know what? I'm going to watch Scrooged.
I'm feeling
So
Scrooged.
I gave this a 27.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're all pretty much in that ballpark of, it's really, really good for a Christmas movie. And if you compare it to other movies, it's still all right. It's still good. I mean, that's an average score of 31 and change. So
it's very good. That's a what? That's a B tier.
Yeah, that's B tier. That's easy B.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into favorite scenes. Dave, go ahead and take the low hanging fruit, so me and Jason can pick the good scenes.
Yeah. So I think the entire scene when he's in the restaurant talking to Bryce Cummings.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jason's already laughing.
He starts hallucinating.
And his boss, blanket on the name. Somebody help me.
Hold on. God dang it. Hold on. I had it a second ago. Go ahead. I'll tell you.
So when he's talking to his boss and Bryce, who's kind of this guy who's it's never clear exactly who Bryce is supposed to, is Bryce replacing him, maybe, sort of?
No, he's the co-executive.
Yeah, he's
helping him get through this strenuous situation.
And
he sure as hell comes across as he's the guy that knows the guy who's related to the guy.
Yeah,
and they're there with Preston.
Yeah, Preston. And
Preston.
Bryce he's such a kiss ass and he's so good.
And then Bill Murray just starts screaming like he sees his fucking eyeball and his fucking eyeball. He's just like,
dude, he literally looks at him, dude, they told Bill Murray just to scream. And then he goes, I'm sorry, sir. That waiter is so good, man.
He's like,
I'll just take it away. I'll just take it away. He goes,
yeah.
He goes, what?
He's like, are you him? Are you him? He's like, are you he?
And then, dude, he he's like, all right, what would you like to eat? And he points, he goes, look out! And then he's like, no, sir, that's the baked Alaska. You wouldn't want that. That's a dessert.
That's a dessert. You don't want that.
And then this dude's arm is just on fire.
He's walking through the restaurant just on fire.
He keeps pointing and he goes, no, that's the meatloaf. It has stuff in there. You wouldn't really want that. Yeah. And then he throws the water on the waiter and he's just covered.
I'm going to excuse myself.
He's like, I thought you were Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Did you guys get that reference? Do y'all know what that is?
Yes, I do. Richard Pryor lit himself on fire. Yeah.
I had to look it up, so I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Bad day at drugs.
Yeah. So I have other scenes, but that was one of them. I'll just point that one out.
Yeah, I also had the restaurant scene. I mean, you have to have it.
It's so good.
Jason, what you got?
I love the scene when it's towards the end when Bobcat Goldthwait's Loudermilk shows back up at the office with the shotgun.
Dude, I love that shit.
They're like, I'm kind of having a bad day. Dude, he's like,
is that where they got the idea for Payback? Not Payback. What's that movie with Kurt Russell?
Is it Falling Down?
Falling Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a bad day.
And
not Kurt Russell, it's Michael Douglas.
It's Michael Douglas, and he's like, "Oh, you've had a bad week. Let me tell you how my day's going." And he just continuously is just shooting at him with this like long barreled 12-gauge shotgun.
He's like,
I lost my job. My wife left me.
That's exactly how that motherfucker sounds.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, for a certain generation, like they don't have. I can't imagine they know who Bobcat Goldthwait is.
No, I feel like if you didn't,
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you were not like a '90s kid at a minimum, you probably don't know who that is.
No, this guy is. It's like, why does he talk like this?
Yeah, and it's
I've never heard that guy talk any other way but that way.
I always laugh because Bill says, give me a running start. Sure. 1001, 1002, 1003. Poof, fucking like Looney Tunes. And he's like, he's making a list. He's checking it twice. Dude.
Well, he's like slow loading.
Yeah, dude. And I love Bobcat, like, because it's just like in the beginning, he's like, "Sir, we can't show that to people. All the blood and all the guts."
He goes, "Oh, you think it was too much? Oh, just a little."
He goes,
you know what? Let's work together, man. We'll figure it out.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, change his locks.
Yeah,
he's done.
fired.
Yeah.
He's fucking done.
And she's like, "On Christmas?"
He goes, "I don't care." Oh, so good. Anyway. Josh, what's the scene for you?
I referenced the intro scene earlier with the different trailers, but I think the scene where he's on set and he's interacting with the censor and she's like, you could see her nipples, and they're like, I mean, you can't see her nipples. I mean, they're all the way over there, right? And it's like it's the whole back and forth, and then Claire shows up. Right, and so then you get the introduction of his love interest, and you find out it's Karen Phillips, fucking
from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, dude, Mariana Ravenwood, right? Mariana, is that right?
Like that.
I know it's Ravenwood. Anyway, dude from Indiana Jones, bro. So that was cool, but just that whole fucking scene where the guys walk up at the lamppost, and you just know it's gonna be some shticky comedy, but it's still so funny. Where they turn, Bill Murray ducks, they knock the censor out, and she's laying there, and he's like, hey, can I move her neck? No. And he still like picks her neck up and fucking turns it around. He's like, see that? You see any nipples over there? Huh. I don't see any nipples.
Oh, that guy shows up and he's like, hey, we're having a problem with these mice. You can't get the glue to stick.
Yeah, just staple
them.
And she's like, Lumpy, you can't staple that. And he's like, ma'am, I would never staple an animal. I love these things.
But I just thought that was a cool scene, just so you can see like really the difference between Claire and Bill Murray,
Frank Cross,
and Frank Cross, in the movie. I thought that was a fun scene. What else you got, Dave?
I mean, I know. I mean, like I can't pick one, but basically, the Ghost of Christmas Past, like the Taxi Driver, like. That dude is super good. And just the back and forth between him and Frank is great. And you get a little heartfelt scene as well. In the
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, Frankie.
Yeah.
He's like, I showed a tale of the hunter's mother, and he was cried like Niagara Falls. But no, and then like. Josh and I were talking like in reality, like 5 pounds of veal, like
dude,
that's
not cheap.
That is not exactly a cheap.
Well, he says that in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I mean, in today's price.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about Jason because I was like, dude, Jason would fucking love 5 pounds of fucking meat in his mouth.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
like I like that whole the whole Ghost of Christmas Past thing. I think of the
I'm
3
more-
ghosts, I think it was the best.
I'm more of the Ghost of Christmas Present, who just absolutely beats the shit out of Bill Murray's character from scene to scene.
Yeah, Carol Kane,
Yeah.
Was she
the wife of
okay? You answered my question before I could ask it.
Yeah, Billy Crystal in Princess Bride.
Yep.
Hop a dink, hop a dink, hop a dink.
Yeah.
I knew her. I was like,
Have fun storming the castle.
you think they'll make it?
Not a
Not a
chance.
Bye.
Yeah, so well, it's good that we all have our own ghost because my actual favorite ghost scene is the actual first ghost you get to see, which is his old boss, Lou Hayward. And the
Yeah.
dude comes in with a fucking golf
Caddyshack.
ball like coming out of the back of his fucking head, and
And like
Yeah,
he's like
I
mice
thought-
and stuff coming out of him too. I think.
Yeah. It's nice.
yeah, and
Hey,
fucking
he
Bill,
looks rough.
fucking Frank shoots him a bunch of times, and then he starts drinking some whiskey.
You get
and he's
the old
fucking
gag.
yeah,
Dude, the best part was when he's like, women all day, all night. And he's like, you pay for the women.
yeah. It wasn't. That's not Jack Palance, dude. Why are you doing a Jack Palance impersonation?
No, listen here, Frank.
But dude, like I almost had to throw up whenever he's like drinking his drink and he fucking gets that golf ball in there. I was like,
Dude, what about whenever he's holding him outside the window and his arms are like tearing? His
Yeah.
arm is,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, quit tearing that dude's arms, bro. What are you doing? Oh,
that
man.
shit's gross. This shit was like paper mache. Like,
Yeah. Do you guys have any other scenes?
Nah, I mean,
I mean, I think the other
The good
obvious
thing
choice
about-
is the monologue at the end, obviously, about Christmas and
Yeah.
coming together and stuff like that. But I mean, look, this is a fun podcast. We're not talking about wholesome stuff here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jason,
all
I
of
cut you
the
off. Go ahead. I'm
dancers-
sorry. Yeah.
The dancers all got top marks.
Yeah. I would just like to. I would say all the Ghost of Christmas Future scenes were appropriately depressing. Like
Yeah.
I think it was well done. And I also want to call out because I don't know if I'll be able to call it out anywhere else. But 3 of Bill Murray's real life brothers were in this movie.
Yep.
Like his brother James is his real brother. The friend that the male friend that was at the Christmas party where James was at is also one of his brothers. And then the guy who played his
The
dad
dad.
was also one of his brothers. So hey, good for Bill Murray. He
Yeah.
did a Christmas movie and he had 3 of his real family members in the movie. So good on him.
Dude, his fucking dad. All kinds of reason people can't work. My legs hurt. My back hurts. I'm only 4.
That's it, dude. Yeah, I was like, damn, is this Josh? you're gonna.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Next category.
Yeah. Yeah. So, favorite character.
Man, I'm gonna get it out of the way. I think Frank Cross. I mean, Bill Murray's character obviously carries the movie. Small shout out to his secretary Grace, who's just like overall a good person.
Yeah.
She's raising a million people in her small apartment, and she has to put up with fucking Frank for God knows how long they've been working together. This dude turned it around, but like there was X number of years before that where he was not a good person to her, making her work on Christmas and shit.
I mean, the speech that he gives her when he's like, "Oh, we're working late," and
Yeah.
she's like, "My son has a doctor appointment." And he was like, "I'm working late. I can't work late if you don't work late."
If you don't work late, then I don't work late. If I don't work late, then I don't work late. So yeah. But yeah, those would be my 2.
I'm gonna go with Claire.
That's good.
Again, I think I don't know. I think the movie takes a turn for me whenever she shows up, and I think that's just really like. I think that's the thing that ended up really bringing me into the movie a little bit more, and made me like it a lot. So I thought her character was really good. I like her story with Lumpy. That whole thing I thought was funny.
Yeah, she's like a very genuine person. She's a very, very typical, genuine, down to earth person. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little bit off script because I knew Dave would take the low hanging fruit. I'm gonna go Bobcat Goldthwait. I don't know why. I
Dude,
get a
look.
kick out of his character.
Dude, if you're gonna say his name, dude, please say it right. It's Goldthwait.
Goldthwait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Now, anyway, just the character that he played in this one from start to finish is just, I'm not going to say it's perfect because I don't know if there's a perfect role for him, but it's hilarious. Like his whole deal from start to finish is just fantastic. When he's up in the production center and blows out the window and Bill Murray, hey, you all right up there? And he's like, oh yeah, we're good.
Dude, when he's like, they should be dancing in the booth. He's like, you heard him dance. Fucking boom.
Yes.
Oh god. He's really good. The Roy Batty Award for overacting. I went for David Johansen, the Ghost of Christmas Past, the cab driver. I mean, look, this is not a bad award to win, but he was definitely hamming it up. Yeah, but a great character, very good.
Yeah,
he was my number 2 for favorite character.
Least favorite?
It's funny you say that, Dave. I'll go first.
Is it Bobcat?
Let me tell you.
Wait.
Let me tell you a little story about a guy named Eliot Loudermilk. And
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
And why this guy deserved to be fired and left on the streets.
Yikes.
Okay? Bill Murray was right the first time. This guy's a fucking putz. He doesn't know shit about shit. He doesn't know shit about fucking making trailers to get people to watch TV shows, okay?
Which trailer was better?
He's
Obviously
worried.
the second one.
I don't know why I'm about to go into a Yoda impression.
The
He's
second trailer
worried.
was better?
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the one that's being shown every 30 minutes and comes with a disclaimer. If you have heart problems, you should leave the room.
Yeah, kill the woman.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious. Wait,
look, man.
You can't fly press like this.
Yeah. I'm just not a Bobcat Goldthwait guy. I don't think he's ever done anything funny in the history of time.
God damn.
And he's an annoying motherfucker. And this movie would score 10 points better if that was anybody else other than Bobcat Goldthwait.
That's
in that role.
so mean. Also, the guy was in the amazing Disney movie Hercules as one of the demons. So you're dumb.
I've never seen that.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm gonna go next because
I'm glad you told me Bobcat was in that because now I will never watch it.
Okay, it's one of the best Disney movies ever. But anyway, my least favorite character is Bryce Cummings. Fucking that guy is always trying to shoo Frank away. Yo, Frank, you can run this from your office, right, Frank? You can just look at the satellite feeds and just let us know. Like he's always trying to shoo him away to steal his job. I feel like Frank would probably try to. I'm sorry, Bryce would try to steal his girl from him too if he had a chance.
Oh yeah,
he's just a sleazy executive. It almost feels like it's the same character that this actor plays in Gremlins 2. Like basically the same sleazy executive guy.
Well, I am so glad that Josh went first because now I can say who my least favorite character was, and that is Karen. Absolutely.
Who's Karen?
The girlfriend.
Claire?
Claire.
How is Claire your least favorite character? She's fantastic.
No.
She's a breath of fresh air, man.
What the fuck was she doing for the last 10 years? Just waiting by the phone for this dude to call?
No, like, she's been working.
She just comes with kids.
She's been helping the homeless. I mean, she's like literally
running at his beck and call. I mean, she's like, "Oh, what you called?" And he's like, "Yeah. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with me. You know, I just thought of you." And she's like, "Oh, but you sounded so." I mean, like she just completely forgets that this dude ditched her for a Christmas dinner with her friends to go out with the executive at the time, his boss. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, her character for me
Well, what about her? What about her
in that
supporting
movie.
his needs? She could have gone too.
Well, she could have. She absolutely could have. But he put his job before her, and then she just waited for him to call back a decade later.
That's a bad choice, Fossil. I'm disappointed in you. Because it's not like she's fucking like Maddie Earp, like taking a bunch of drugs and just being a wet fucking blanket and actually trying to like shoot her husband. Like,
yeah,
dude, she's supportive. She shows up whenever he's in need. She tries to help him. She makes him a better person. And we're voting her as the worst character.
Yep.
This
There's
makes
no way.
sense.
There's no way that there wouldn't be a backlash if this movie was made today on how weak her character is as a feminine counterpart to Bill Murray's character.
Well, look, besides Jason's terrible takes, what else has aged the worst about this movie?
I don't know that anything is necessarily aged like notably bad. What is it?
I have one. Listen, you referenced her earlier. Grace, right? The great secretary that he has, and he tells her bonus is a towel, right? And then he comes back. He sees the way she's living in her apartment. He gives that great speech at the end, and we never get a payoff for her on this bonus. Dude, what did she get?
How did her life change? I guess
VCR.
Yeah, right. A VCR. Yeah, which she could probably sell for like $1,000 out on the street, but like
maybe.
I want to know. Like, I wanted the end of the movie montage where it's like Grace got that bonus and moved out and got a house and with a special room for her grandma or whatever. Yeah. Like I wanted
he should have been out there. He should have been out there like, you get a VCR, you get a VCR, you get a VCR.
I just wanted to see the payoff for all the because I mean look, Loudermilk. Yeah, Loudermilk gets a fucking double pay bump, and he sucks.
Well, that does lead me to my one main issue. Because in real life, Cross gets fired, and Loudermilk is serving 10 years in prison for what he did.
Yeah, I mean that is actually true. Like, and there's a good chance that Frank also probably has some jail time as well.
Probably.
Now he's an executive, so in reality, he probably gets away with it. Like
probably
we all know.
Yeah, well, he probably got a golden parachute and a parting gift.
Yeah, but he's definitely fired, and Bryce is just eating it up. Like he is right there. Be like, I told you, Preston. I told you.
Yeah, and Loudermilk is getting the treatment as he's getting put back in the back of the cop car.
I mean, I think Loudermilk is getting like electric shock therapy. Like that dude is gone.
Absolutely tasered.
The other thing I had on there was just workplace violence. As a something that's aged poorly. I mean, we saw in the news like not too long ago, there was a shooting at a Walmart where a manager came to work and was shooting his employees.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think a modern take on this movie, if it was ever made, would have the Bobcat Goldthwait character come back and shoot up his place. Like, I think I think that would be a little too real for
different times, man. Different times.
Yeah. Also, I didn't have a good chance to put this in there, but Preston talking about how the dogs, like, pets are going to be watching television in the future. Like, dude,
we need to start programming now.
Like, dude, that dude is off his rocker. That dude is
gone. Let's take a deep breath. Because there are channels dedicated to pets.
Sure.
Yeah. But
pets that stay home all day.
The guy was a visionary.
I guess so.
Absolutely visionary.
Anything else for what's aged the worst?
I got nothing.
All right. What's aged the best?
I would say that I feel like even though this is a more modern spin on a classic, I still think it captures the overall Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I agree with Jason. I was going to say something similar. I feel like this movie feels very Christmassy. Like, like, it's like a warm blanket. You put it on when it's Christmas time, and it's like, yeah, this feels Christmassy. It's just, I would say generally speaking, I think the humor is aged pretty well. I think most of the jokes, other than the shooting part, like generally the jokes I would feel like are still funny to this day. So credit to that.
Yeah, I think the thing for me that's aged the best is the director. So I didn't realize at the time that this was Richard Donner that had directed this movie. Like, so this is the guy that directed all the Lethal Weapon movies. He directed Superman 1 and 2, the original ones, the Goonies.
Wow.
I mean, this guy's, he's got a long history of great movies. And I didn't realize, had I known, I think that sooner, I probably would watch this sooner. But yeah, that's just another classic movie to add to his track record, man. That dude's got a robust resume.
That dude's 80s career is like lights out, because I mean most of those movies you named were in the 80s.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I will. I'm going to talk back about one little bit of a disappointment. You had kind of brought it up earlier when you were talking about Bill Murray, and the one thing that I think is a little bit lacking in some of this movie is that once you've seen a Bill Murray film, you've seen Bill Murray. Like, he doesn't have any acting range. He's always the same character, no matter what
he plays.
Show
Bill Murray.
Watch. Yeah, so there are aspects in the movie where you're like, oh, okay, it's Bill Murray. So I can understand like what you were saying earlier as far as your reservations to just to watching this to begin with. But I do think this movie was written well for him in the way that he is. So I think it works. Yeah. But there are some issues as far as once you've seen Bill Murray, you've seen Bill Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true of a good amount of actors and actresses that
correct.
They're not they're not necessarily character actors in the strict sense. They pretty much, Will Ferrell I feel like is in the same boat, right? Because Josh, you brought up Will Ferrell earlier. And if you don't like Will Ferrell, you just won't like his movies, pretty much. And like, if you're not a huge Bill Murray fan, then obviously, that's going to come through in this movie. So, but otherwise, I think the movie was definitely written for Bill Murray in mind. If I had to guess, just because I couldn't imagine anybody else in this role, personally.
Yeah. Last question: is this movie rewatchable for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, my version of rewatchable and your version, Josh, are different, but I mean, I think this is definitely a holiday. This movie, I don't usually go a year without seeing at least a good chunk of this movie.
Yeah, I would say absolutely rewatchable in the month of December.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll revisit it next year. We'll see. I mean, I did watch Jingle All the Way on Christmas Day for probably the 50th time. So I could add this one into the rotation possibly. We'll see. So yeah. Well, hey, that was good, man. That was fun. That was a good movie. I'm glad you guys suggested it. Hey, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on what the next piece of content coming out for this channel is. We'll be workshopping some things to come out on here. The channel is not dying. It's just going to be a little less. But hey, if you like what's going on with us and you like just seeing us talk, come check us out on the other channel, Metalhead's Journey. Dave's going to have a link down below for the new page that we've been working on. And hey, man, come take that Metalhead's Journey with us over there. But in the meantime, if you're only here for 3 Guys and a Mic content, we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later.